Yo, what's going on, guys? Jared here, and today I have the round 6 of the Zodiac Tools Monthly Tournament. We are currently X1 going into this round, yeah, we're just going to jump right into it. And just do remember, round 4, our opponent did give us the win, so for the previous video, I had skipped round 4. We got the win on that round because our opponent gave us the win, so there's no match to watch for that one. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that. Now, moving forward, this is now round 6, and let's see how it goes down. So we lose the rock, paper, scissors, unfortunately, and he decides to go first. So as you can see, we are going against a Sword Soul deck. He starts off with the Emergence. His hand is very bricky because he doesn't have like 2 Sword Soul cards or an extra Worm card, so he can't go into Moye. So he has to start with the Taye. We have the Impermanence to meet that. I figured his hand was awkward from that. He sets his 2 cards, passes turns, Imperm and Chalice. So he has Ash, Imperm, Ash, which is very good, or Ash, Imperm, Chalice, I should say. But we have this is a problem that I was having with the deck, I should say. And it's a recurring theme with playing the Flowandereeze deck that happens that I feel like it should be known. Just playing the engine cards that you have in Flowandereeze. It happens with any tribute deck too. This was also the issue with Monarchs and why it got called Brick Monarchs and all the made Monarch memes about it. Was that just that the in-engine cards brick on themselves and there's nothing you can do about it. So just from opening these 2 cards, you are already down 1 playable card. Already, just for opening these 2. These do not do anything proactive whatsoever. So it just sucks sometimes when you're playing a deck like this and you have only 3 cards to play with, really. But I just wanted to address that. So we activate Potted Duality first. I like doing Duality first because it lets me get the less choice, so I can fix my hand easier with the Prosperity. So we take the map because it has the most odds of getting Prosperity to be worth it. Like now that I have map, all I'm looking for is any level 1, and that's just a starter. We have the Crossout to meet the Ash Blossoms. Like I said, I really like Crossout in this deck. I think it does a lot. Like, you need to push your plays through, and Crossout really helps doing that. We were able to find a Strix to be able to keep playing with the map. So we go map effect, reveal Strix. Activate Strix, and activate Robina. He imperms the Strix, but we add back Robina. Now the thing you have to remember is that the Strix was summoned off of the map. It was not used my normal summon, so now I can summon the Robina, meets it with a Chalice. And off that I have to pass, I have no more plays. And this is kind of the problem, right? I play through my hand, I get through everything, but then I have 2 dead cards in my hand, I can't do anything. It's very frustrating sometimes when you're playing this deck. He draws another Chalice. Luckily, thank God, he did not draw another way to play. So I lucked out that he drew very poorly this match. Or this game, I should say. So we draw another level 1, again, thank God. So we're able to play again. Strix, now we get Eaglin, so we can keep playing. So we go Strix, and activate the Robina again. Then we go summon the Robina, activate this Eaglin. He chalices this, but again, we still have our normal summon, so we can go M-Pen. We'll Ruling Dispute, but it goes through. So we add back, get the extra normal summon off M-Pen, Eaglin effect to add back the Ryza, and then from here he just concedes, he can't get past that. We have our full engine going, and everything's going well for us. So yeah. You see a hand like this is also a problem. I draw Ryza, this is not what you want to see, that's why I minimized the tribute summon count down to 3 when I finished my build. It was 1 Ryza, 1 M-Pen, and 1 Miss Valley because they all come up in separate scenarios. You have to play all 3, but you draw them and you brick. So we start off with Potted Duality. We're hoping to find map or Robina. We find none of them, unfortunately. So we take Book of Moon, and then we just have to go summon Eagle and activate effect. He doesn't have any hand traps. And this is something I want to clarify. When we're playing this game, he bricked again, and because our own deck failed us, we lose. We win this game if my deck doesn't brick. And I have this deck made, I feel, as consistently as possible for this event, and it just doesn't, fundamentally in a multiple round event, does not work. And that's the problem I have with it. So he starts off with Lightning Storm. Second problem with the deck is that there is so many cards in the game that your opponent can activate, and you're like it's you just had that card, or you just had that card. It's very frustrating when Evenly Match, Lightning Storm, Dark Ruler No More, Forbidden Droplets, there is a plethora of cards that just destroy this deck, and there's only so many times you could say, oh, he sacked me, oh, he had this, oh, he had that. The deck just loses to too many things. And it's a huge problem. And it's just something that if you're going to play Flowandereeze, you need to recognize. And it's the whole reason why I play Call by the Grave. It really is. Or why, not Call by the Grave, why I play Cross Out Designator, because it can modify or mitigate these problems that the deck has. Where it's like, okay, if I lose to X card, I can cross out to be able to keep playing. But anyways, he going back to the game, he is able to get to his combo with the 10 Yi cards. So he was able to go into the Grandmaster to be able to add the Mo Yi, and then use the Mo Yi to get the effect because he has the Sacred Source Summit. And we just can't really do much here. He attempts to go into Crimson Blade. Our mind can only go in the Worms. Draws his card, attacks, attack. And I'm dead. Or I'm not dead, I apologize. I draw my card, and now I draw the map, so now I lose because I have no play. So I just lose. Quite unfortunate. So now we have the opposite problem, where our hand is too fragile, where we have 3 normal summons, which is, it's not the worst thing ever. We don't have the extenders, we don't have the pop cards, we don't have Book of Moons, we don't have cards to play through enough things. We have one crossout, and this one crossout has to be good enough to stop everything. And I like having crossout, map, guy. Those together usually can play through anything, but we only have guy crossout, so we lose to any 2 hand traps essentially. So we run into Ash Imperm, and just like that, our turn has to end, and his hand was insane anyway. Even if we did combo, we still lose. He still has Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster. There is nothing we can do about that. And there's no way I would have telegraphed to be able to put up the Avion against this. And he had the special summon. Like, it's just too, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just too many things sometimes. And you just kind of have to accept your fate. And I feel like that's something that it happens. Like, this is a game where I can honestly say there's nothing you can do. But do I blame the deck's fault? Do I blame him opening up very lucky? Or me playing poorly? And a lot of the times when you evaluate your losses with this deck, you're going to learn that you can't really do anything. It's kind of just how the deck works, and it's really unfortunate. So he does his standard Sword Soul stuff, goes in the Grandmaster, gets back to Mo Yi with the Ashura, and then, or he attempts to, and he cannot. And then goes in the Baron, burn me for 1200, pop my Eaglin, attack for 3000, and then I draw Book of Moon. Now I draw Book of Moon, right? But at this point it doesn't matter, and we just lose anyway. We can't do anything because he has Baron and he has Grandmaster. There's nothing we can do, and that's it. I am at defeat, and there's nothing we can do. So that was it for that game. It was quite unfortunate. Again, I wish we could do more, but what can you do? So here's the deck list. This is the deck I chose to play. This was what I felt was A, the most consistent, and B, could also play through the most things at the same time. So looking at this deck list, we have the 1 Ash Blossom, the 1 Barrier Statue, 1 Droll, 1 Effect Veiler, triple Eaglin, 1 Empen, triple Robina, double Strix, and 1 Toucan. I'll explain this in a second. 1 Avion and 1 Ryza. For spells, 2 Book, 1 Called By, 3 Cross Out, 3 of the Quick Play spell that's in Battles of Chaos, which you have to banish a winged beast from your hand or field to add a Flowandereeze monster or field spell from your deck to your hand and gate 500. This is a very good card. Helps with consistency, but it's only good if you have a winged beast, which is the problem. Sometimes you get those weird hands where you just don't have one, and that's why I opted to play the second Strix rather than going into something more of like a set rotation type of build to mitigate that. I want to be able to have more monsters than more ways to get to the field spell, because sometimes you draw mapping or more than one ways to get to map and you just can't do anything because you don't have a monster. But then speaking of map, we play 3 map. I play 1 Chalice, 1 Droplet, triple Pot of Duality, triple Pot of Prosperity, 1 Terraforming, 1 Dreaming Town, and 2 Imperm. I think Imperm was a very good hand trap right now because it can't get talents, outs a lot of things, and it works. It's a 1-for-1. It's just Chalice, but it's something I can like. I want to open with it, and I also want to be able to have one for crossout. So I guess that's kind of the logic there, is something along those lines. And then, like I said, you can see a lot of one-ofs. This deck whole build is made for crossout, so that's just something to keep in mind. And then we have, for the side deck, we have 1 Book of Moons, very good against Sword Soul, going first and second. 3 Dark Ruler No More, 2 Droplet, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 3 Lightning Storm, 3 Twin Twister, 1 of the Scary Sea, and the 3rd Imperm. All really good cards. This addresses a lot of the problems with the deck is playing through. Like, you need cards that have big impact so that your self-retaining engine can keep going, and we get, because the hardest part is once you get this deck going, it's amazing. But if it doesn't get going, it's a big problem, and you can't dedicate a lot of cards to get it going. Even Droplets hit or miss, but Droplets good enough to where I feel like you can sacrifice enough to be able to summon the Rubina and be able to play. For the extra deck, I played 3 Elder Entity, 1 of the Wind Pegasus, 2 Zeus, 2 Downerd, 2 Lyrisk, also 2 Lyrisk, 1 Tri-Brigade Frigette, and 2 Omen. This could be so many different things, but this is just things to play around Maximus, or anything like that, really. It's nothing too crazy. I've made Zeus, I think, 1 time in this tournament off of the Lyrisk and the Downerd Magician. It has come up, but it's just nothing that you have to worry about too much. This has come up, I think, once too. The Omen to be able to search for a Flowandereeze. But yeah, overall, I do like the deck, but I will say if I was to go to a, let's say, a 9-round tournament event or a 10-round tournament event or any type of big event, really, I do not think I would see myself playing this deck because I think it has too many counters, and that's not, it's kind of the deck's fault itself, I guess, because they need this card. If this negated things that weren't summons, it would be so much better, but because it doesn't, it's not good, and it's the issue. It's why we have to play Apex Avian, because if we need to be able to beat things like Lightning Storm, evenly matched Dark Ruler No More, and whatever it may be. I mean, Dark Rulers don't matter, but you know what I mean. Like, it's just you need to out powerful cards that just blow you out. But yeah, I would not play this deck at a high level event, in my opinion. That's just my final analysis on the deck. I feel like I don't want to hype a deck up when it's not worth hyping up, in my opinion. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Because we are X2, that puts us out of the tournament. There was only 1 more round after this, so it was just 7 rounds. So for 7 rounds, or for 6 rounds I should say, we went X2. One of those was win that was given to us. These are all just important things to keep in mind. Yeah, it's very hard to, like, if your opponent opens up, if both decks open up well, I feel like your Flowandereeze deck is going to lose most of the time if the other deck opens up well. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the series. Hope you guys enjoyed the tournament. I am hoping to join the next one, and I'm going to be playing a different deck. I like to keep doing this. I actually really find it fun to be able to play one deck in a tournament and then have a full analysis of the deck at the end. So overall, hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you in next time. Thank you. Wilted body slowly covering the light. Pull the trigger.